Hi guys. So I just wanted to give a brief show and tell of my usage of Ting, and just so that we're clear here, this price dropped in August, and it will save me about 20 bucks a month. So um, from May 28th, I chose the highest bill I've had in a while. I paid $164 for 6 lines or 6 phones, and most of that came because of the extra minutes that we've been spending. So I had six devices. We used about a gig of data and almost 4,000 messages, and then uh, almost 4,300 minutes used. And then of course you have taxes and fees and stuff. So our total was 160. We'll just say 165. So what is it that I love about Ting? Number one, there's no contract, so you can, if you're not satisfied with them, you drop them, you go somewhere else, no problem. You can add anything to your plan at any point in the month. You don't have to sign a new contract. You don't have to wait for something to end. So currently, I have 6 phones, 6 devices, I should say. Uh, our minutes, we're using quite a few, so I'm just going to go 4,200. And then our text messages were under 48, and our data was just at 16. So our total is going to be 143.60. Now this was an unusual month for us. Our minute usage typically falls into just under 3,000. So I'm going to just move it to 2,800, which is more typical. And we actually hover around 120, and that's what we experience on a regular basis. Uh, Now, I love being able to change this anytime I want. This was just a calculator. I didn't change anything because it's all based on what you use. Now, some of you might be worried about, wow, I don't want to blow out my data plan and pay $10 a gig and, have my kids watching Netflix. Well, you have complete control of that. So I'm going to go into my account and go to the devices and just show off a little bit. So here are my 6 devices. I have, awesome. Um, so here are the devices I have. Notice I have both CDMA and GSM networks. It's a mixed, it's all under one bill. We all share minutes. There's no issues with that. And I'm going to go ahead and set up some limits so for my kids, I don't let them have data because they're either at school or at home. And so they don't typically need data. So I'm just going to come down here and disable data. But I'm going to go ahead and let them share videos and images via text message and turn off tethering. So that's my daughter Mary. She is no longer allowed to use data on her phone. Now, let's say you want them to have a trickle. You want them to have you want them to be able to have some data. Maybe because they might want to use a Google mapping service or something like that. So they have this thing called usage alerts, and I'll tell you, this is crazy powerful. So let me just show you how this works. So um, I'm going to add an alert, and I'm going to add it to Elizabeth's phone only. So when she exceeds 10 megabytes, I'm going to send her a text saying, um, you've used 10 megabytes of data. And then I'm going to go ahead and add another alert so that when she exceeds 25, it just shuts it off. And it's just going to disable data until the next billing cycle. And it's going to send her a text message saying that it's been disabled so that she knows. So she gets a warning at 10 megabytes saying, hey, you've used 10 megabytes, and then at 25 megabytes, it suspends it. I I also do this for all the kids. They all get 1,000 text messages, and some of them want warnings, some of them don't. They just want it to shut off. So I'm going to just do messages. Just going to say so we disable messages until the next billing cycle. So now when she hits 1,000 text messages, it'll alert her and say, it'll send her another text. So she usually gets about 1,003. I don't know why that is, but that seems to be the trend. And then it suspends her ability to text message. And what's great about that is if she wants more texting, she can call me and I can turn this back on. I can actually turn it on my mobile device. So it's crazy simple to fix. And I do this for all the kids' account. So this really helps me monitor and make sure that they're not going crazy with data or text messaging. So huge benefit right there. You can set it up as much as you want. I just went through and cleaned out a bunch of things. We've been going through a bunch of changes over the summer. By the way, when I travel, I'll go ahead and I turn on data for everybody, and I don't tell them. Hopefully they won't watch this video, but when we travel, I turn on data for everybody, just because I don't want to have to worry about if there's a need for them to get something and they're at someone's house, they can just download it because they're not in their typical environment. So pretty simple to do. You just go into each device settings and you turn it on. We actually just got back from a family reunion, so I'm going through and disenabling the kids that I want to. So let's see, that would be Hannah. Just going to disable her data. So I just scroll down to her data and I just disable these two items. And once again, I do want them to be able to send pictures and videos and group messages. Otherwise, it just says downloading forever and they can't actually download it until they get home or to Wi-Fi.